Okay, good morning everyone. So today we'll be discussing about week 5 topic and it's all about food safety and sanitation laws. Now, it is a basic and very important when it comes to laws. Dapat when we are handling food, dapat to aware ta what is about food safety and sanitation. It has been discussed sa inyong risk management. Okay. Now, in lesson 9, Sanitation Code and Food Safety Act. Now, we have it here the Presidential Decree 56, Sanitation Code of the Philippines in 1975. Its purpose is ensuring that all establishments maintain cleanliness, proper food handling, and sanitation to protect public health. It is because as human being, we are intaking food, nagkakaunta. But as the service provider or kita nga nag-prepare sa mga pagkaon, we must ensure that ang atoang gina-prepare nga pagkaon is safety. Ang atong gina-prepare nga pagkaon is dili hazard para sa mga tao nga consume because they are our customers. Remember, in food industry, dapat of course priority gyud pinaka-highlight gyud nga before in preparations of food, priority gyud nato dapat daan ang safetyness sa usa ka pagkaon nga atong gi-prepare from the harvest going to the area of preparations, even during the transportation. If you're familiar with perishable nga mga kanang kuan, kanang mga kanang mga vans or kanang mga delivery vans, they have do not delay perishable goods. It is because naa siya giapas nga time para dili madaot ang pagkaon. Now, this is the key provisions in this presidential decree, which is in chapter 3 about food establishments. So, clean and sanitize utensils, kitchen surfaces, and storage to avoid contaminations. We have also here food handlers must wear proper PPEs or uniforms or practice hygiene to ensure nga ang nag-prepare sa pagkaon itself is kuan sad siya kanang safety and wala siya mga hazardous nga mga kanang gipang kuan no kanang parts sa body sa iyahang lawas. Of course naman tayo three types of hazards. We have physical, we have chemical, and biological hazards. So ato jud avoid pud ang physical hazards. Now we have it here, must have restrooms with running water, soaps, and waste bins to ensure nga proper hand washing is followed. Kaya mao po na siyang sa pinaka-importante ato ang bantayan when we are preparing foods. No animals allowed in the preparation area. Like for example, a hotel kitchen has flies, dirty counters, that's gonna be a violation. That means pwede silang ipasirado. We have it here, chef has open wounds, no gloves, that's going to be also a violation. That's going to cause contamination. Food kept under overnight, so there could be bacterial growth with that. So kinahanglan yun nga ato kung i-check kung sa itong gina-prepare nga pagkaon para sa tuang nga clients. Kaya always remember, i-value yun na to ang atuang mga clients kasi sila yun ang pinaka-backbone na ay kanang ugat ngangan nung naatay negosyo. Okay, next to that, we have it here, Republic Act 1061-1, which is the Food Safety Act of 2013. Its purpose is about strengthening, okay, strengthens food safety regulations from farm to fork. Okay, that means from harvest to hapagkainan means the time nga mukaon na ang atuang mga clients. So covering productions, handling, distribution, and consumption, and also that includes storage. That is a very important thing to consider. Now, we have the key features. So, required food businesses to implement food safety programs. That is why before tamo proceed so sa kanegosyo na pa may agian nga accreditations, no, and also mga assessment, no. The area will be checked by the LGU with sanitary permits and others which they comply for safety nga mga kanang preparations or the production itself is safety from the growth of microorganisms and also sa preparation area pa lang maka-ensure na jud ka nga hanay ug limpyo. Then regular inspection and testing by authorities. So gina-check na sila by the LGU. That is a very important thing, regular checking every 3 months as much as possible. Then establishes accountability of food business operators. So in kaso na may magkapod food poison, kinsa may liable. Then ensures traceability in case of contamination. So tracing, kinsa ang day ni kanang first in first out, ala kanus agi deliver, kinsa ni pagawas, who's the person who is assigned, no, para mag-check sa mga expiration dates kana siya. That is a very important thing to consider. Now, every business must keep a clean supply chain, store food at correct temperatures. Kay remember that during sa kanang kuan storing nato, na possible growth of microorganism, the danger zone temperature. So, kinahanglan gyud siya, ato na siyang bantayanan. Then, prevent cross-contamination and train staff on safe food handling. So, every staff must undergo food safety trainings. And not only that, they just not just only undergo food safety trainings, but they will be checked also through their medical conditions if they are safety also sa mga kanang kuano kanang transfer nga mga kanang kuan sakit like HEPA. So kana siya. So violation can lead to suspension of operations, fines, criminal liability if there is no injury or death. But kanang kuan if magamping gyud ta kay if there is injury or death, so criminal liability na gyud tubangon sa tag-iya. Okay? Next to that, inspection by the DOH and LGU. Who conducts inspection? It's the DOH, Department of Health. LGU sanitary inspectors, municipal city level. So sila ang mag-check ana. Then sometimes the food and drugs, no, for the packaged foods. Then why do they inspect? Ano mag-inspect magin sila? It's not just the inspect lang. There is reason why they inspect those areas. We have it here, food preparation and storage areas. So of course, proper bang imong storage? Gina-check gina siya kung sakto bang imong storage. Dili ba hugaw, di ba kalat, di ba masudlan og mga kanang ilaga og uban pa niha mga mananap. Now, equipment cleanliness, i-check if ubay taya-taya, no, to avoid food poisoning, contaminations, o uban pa diha. The water supply, kay pwede man nga okay ang imuhang preparation, okay mo pagkampo na ang bacteria sa kanang kuan water, which is amoeba, no? So ato gina-check gyud dapat. There should be testing for that. Water supply is simply di na to ingon nga matag-an kay wata kabalo kung asang storage mo nang i-check gid siya. Then staff hygiene and uniforms. It should be that is a food server or food preparator nga kanang mag-andam sa tuong mga pagkaon as an employee or the owner itself dapat hygienic yun and we're free from kanang mga kanang matransfer ng mga sakit-sakit. Now, let's have valid permits and sanitation certificates. Of course, we need to follow rules and regulations. We need to follow the law. Okay? So that is the reason why there's an inspection by the DOH and the LGU. Next to that, frequency. Kapila man siya. When? Before business opens. No, that is going to be the initial permit. Regular inspection, quarterly, or every 3 months. Surprise na siya. Then after a complaint or foodborne illnesses there's gonna be also a report, then emergency or pass no dinalian nga pag-checks of sa environment. So for the result, green ratings that will pass, yellow needs improvement, red rating fail or closure. So you need to follow all the needed requirements to ensure that you can pass with the inspection. Next, food permits and consequences of violations. So the requirement or required permits. Sanitary permits is issued by the LGU Health Office. Health certificate of food handlers kanang magpa-check up ang inyong mga empleyado. Then FDA license to operate for food package kanang mga packaging kanang ipang store na. It should be approved by the food and drugs, no? So Next is business permit. Okay, in the business permits, violations includes operating without permits, nag-start ka sa operation without approval or permits, using expired ingredients, that's gonna be a great big violation, allowing unsanitary conditions, hugawang area, no, kana siya, failing inspections, that means failing mo inspections or wala ka nakapa-inspect. So there are consequences in those things. So we have fines, no, penalties in the first offense, business closure, tan-awon og sa kadakuha ang kuan severity sa kanang sa result, then public warnings, then legal liability if someone is harmed. Okay, mananggot yun sa pamalaod. Example, a restaurant failed inspection for moldy storage and improper food temperature, suspended operations for 2 weeks, and fined 20,000 pesos. Now, we have it here for food poisoning case. Example, we have it here, a family ate lunch at the beach resort. Within 6 hours, they are all experienced vomiting and diarrhea. One child had to be hospitalized. And according to the investigation, it reveals that the buffet food was left out for 5 hours. That means no heating without proper heat, no, so there's going to be growth of microorganisms or bacteria, especially if there is moisture. Now, chicken wasn't cooked properly, then food handlers had no hairnets, had long fingernails, and others. Now, for the legal consequences, of course, they can be sued. So resort was temporarily closed. Resort paid medical expenses and moral damages. DOH required the staff to undergo retraining and recertifications and whatever they had. Now, for the summary of tables, we have it here, Presidential Decree 856, that is about sanitation, clean kitchen staff, and hygienic nga kanang kuan performance. Now, Republic Act 1061-1, Food Safety Act, food about safe food handling and temperature storage, inspections by DOH or LGU, permit compliance and cleanliness, food permits, legal documents, sanitary permit and health certificates, food poisoning case, there's gonna be accountability, duty of care. So if you neglect everything, you will be sued. No, sa mga customers or clients, especially if they know about the laws and their claims, pwede gina sila mo file og claims or mag-live sa social media. Next to that is lesson 10. The topic for lesson 10 is about liability for foodborne illnesses. Now, who is liable? Someone day ang liable if there are foodborne illnesses? Is it the hotel? Is it the chef or the supplier? Now, at the very beginning, of course, the first person who's liable with that is the hotel owner. So primarily, liability, they operate the establishment and they're responsible for safety under innkeeper's liability. Now, next to that will be questioned is the chef or the kitchen staff who prepare for the food. Next to that, if wala diha ang problema, so there's gonna be an investigation if sa supplier ba ang problema. Basig dito nagsugod sa ilaha ang cross-contamination and was not seen kay mao nga tumanggid ang pinaka-main nga kanang kuan pinakauna nga procedure, so wala ta kabaluan. So for its legal basis, we can file lawsuits, which is according to Article 1998 Civil Code. Innkeepers are liable for loss or injury due to their staff or due to lack of care. According to the Republic Act of 1061-1, Food Safety Act of the Philippines, the food business operator is liable ensuring food safety from farm to plate. So kana gyud siya, dapat i-ensure gyud nato nga i-select gyud ta og kanang insakto nga suppliers para di ta yaga-yagaan og di pud talimbungan kay basig tagaan niya ta og damage na nga product unya kita na noy nadamay. Next to that, damages for contaminated food. Type of damages guests can claim. So actual damages, moral damages, and exemplary damages. For actual damages, hospital bills, medicines lost, income. So for example, 10,000 hospital bill for food poisoning Moral damages, pain, anxiety, humiliation, if serious. Then example, severe vomiting ruined a honeymoon. And as yes, so there's going to be charges for that. You can the company is being filed with the lawsuits no na ni claims ang gi-file so problema gid na siya nato. Exemplary damages, punishment for gross negligence if hotel had prior warnings and ignored them. So, kana siya, that's an exemplary damages. According to Article 2219 in Civil Code, allows moral damages in cases of physical injuries caused by negligence. So, ikaw po, kung as customer, gitagaan na kag warning, so, may mo lang in town, follow sa instruction, di kayo magbutbutog yung mga that creates chaos, no? Concern na noon or problema na noon. So, kana siya. So, ato gina siyang bantayan. Next to that, guest records and tracing outbreaks. So importance of guest records, that is for tracing. So names, contact numbers, and food ordered. So aron ma-aware ta and verified na to sa ilang ikaon. And there's no kind of allergies ba. So helpful in conducting tracing if outbreaks occurs. Then assessing DOH, LGU, FDA, and investigating the event. Then prevents larger spread and support legal defense if the hotel acted properly. Example to that is a buffet with a helped DOH identify 8 victims and confirmed the contaminated dish. The hotel cooperated fully, mitigated with liability. Number 4, defenses. How you defend your side. Now, proper due diligence. Hotels can defend themselves in any, or if they can prove, like for example, there is a prior warning, there is a prior information, there is also CCTV to check on what is really is happening during the time. Now, due to diligence includes conducting daily kitchen checks, using certified suppliers, staff completed food safety training, kitchen has passed the OH or LG inspection, having standard operating procedures for food storage and preparation. So if these are shown, the hotel might reduce or escape liability because they exercise reasonable care. Number 5, we have it here, famous Philippines restaurant closure case. So that's gonna be that specific company controversy in 2023. A customer complained online about deep fried towel found inside the tuna pie in a Jollibee branch in Bonifacio Global City. So the DTI and LGU stepped in and temporarily closed the branch. They conducted interview. They conducted investigation. So the issue went viral and damaged brand reputation, even though it was isolated. So legal operational result. The branch was closed for 3 days. Staff underwent retraining. Jollibee improved quality control measures. Lessons. So even top brands face food safety challenges. Proper response, apology, investigation, SOP can protect long-term reputation. So for the summary of tables, we have it here, liability, ownership or owners is primarily liable, chef or suppliers may be included. Damages, actual moral and exemplary damages is possible. That is really possible. Then for the defense, due to diligence, um, due to the due diligence is a valid legal defense, no? So kana good. Importante kana to hinumduman. Next to that is the case sample, Jollibee incident led to closure and training. So kana siya. Ato ginang bantayan, no? Nga Jollibee madagko man na sila ug may naghapon sa challenges with regards to kanang kuan, kana nga mga areas or concerns. Now, employment laws in hospitality. So, labor code essentials. What are the labor code essentials? So, DOLE, jurisdictions and inspection. DOLE, Department of Labor and Employment, government agency that ensures fair job practices, workers' rights are protected. So, jurisdiction over all employment related to complaints, non-payment of wages, illegal dismissal, unsafe work condition, dili ihatag ang contribution sa SSS, pag-ibig PhilHealth, because that is the common issues in the HR. Ang mga SSS, pag-ibig, PhilHealth, dili hulgan. That is my experience also before working for about 1 year kapinsaw sa ka-industry. Then wala ginisod sa kuha nga SSS pag-ibig PhilHealth kadtong ilahang gipang tangtang. Ilang gipang didak, I mean. So wala ginakuha. Now, so wala ginakuha after all already balik sa katong kuan in town, katong employee. Now, we have it here the um inspection by Dolly. So conducted without prior notice, it's going to be a surprise. Inspect payroll record, employee contracts, timekeeping system, health and safety in works. Example, a hotel in Cebu was fined after Dolly found workers doing 12-hour shift with no overtime pay. Kana siya, that is a very important thing yun nung atong bantayan yun. Kay technicalities yun ang basihan. No ma-check na gina siya karon. So we have it here, regular versus contractual employment. So regular employees, they are employed for more than 6 months doing core work. Then Article 295, that's going to be the legal basis for labor code of the Philippines. Now, contractual project based, hired a specific project or period, no security to tenure. Then legal basis, Dolly Department of Labor number 174 of 2017. Then probationary under evaluation for 6 months must be informed of the standards on day one. There should be a briefing kay aron dito pataka na lang pud no diretso-diretso ra pud ta. So that's going to be the important thing. If a contractual worker is rehired repeatedly or the score hotels tasks like front desk, they may be considered regular under the law. So next to that, overtime holidays, rest day pay. So the basic rules is if there's an overtime, it's going to be 125% of hourly rate. A waiter works past 8 hours. So regularly, holiday, 200% of daily rate. Then special non-working holiday, 130,000. I mean 130% of daily rate. Then rest day 24. 30% for its extra, no, nga kanang kuan extra nga um bayad sa tuwas ang kanang kuan mga employees. Next to that, proper termination. What is the play? Was legal basis according to Article 87, 94, 92 of Labor Code. Example it here, hotel receptionist earns 600 per day. She works on regular holiday. She got 600 times 20 times 2 is 1,200. Next to that, proper termination. Grounds grounded or grounds under the Article 282 of Labor Code. Just causes employees' fault. Okay, so we have it here, the numberings. Number one, what happened? Serious misconduct. Number two, willful to obedience. Number three, gross and habitual neglect of duties. Four, fraud or breach of contract. Number five, other analogous causes or example, dishonesty. So, authorized cause, company decision, redundancy, retrenchment, or closure. So, requires notice plus separation pay. Due to due process is required. Notice to explain, employer can respond. Hearing or investigating, and the final decision more. Okay, more than. Then, notice is currently happening sa may hitabo. Then, example, a front desk agent was caught stealing to a guest item, hotel followed due to process and terminate her legally. So, next to that, clearance and final pay. So with regards to clearance and final pay, so we have it here. The final pay includes last salary, unused leave credits, 13-month pay, separation pay if applicable. So, time, so Dole Labor Advisory 6S to 2020, finally pay must be released within 30 days from the resignation or termination. So, clearance, employee must return employee must return uniform, ID, key, or access cards, company's property. So, tanang mga kuan na may ko din. For example, sa una, sa una, o kanang pang-init, kanang hot area. So, ang nahitabuan na niya class if kanang kuan siya class, um, where are we? Okay, so we have it here, the clearance and final pay. So, the final pay includes last salary, unused leave credits, 13th month pay, then separation pay. Then timeline, we have Dolly Label Advisory number 6 to 2020. Final pay must be released within 30 days from resignation or termination. Clearance, employee must return uniform, ID, key, access cards, or company's property. Kaniya siyang sa clearance class is mo ni siyang ang area where imo ipamalik ang kanang kuan mga kanang kuan sa um company, mga gamit sa company. So, sorry kayo ka ako nagkuan ang nahatag nako is for the tourism no nga sample in the tourism industry nga iuli nato ang kanang kuan, iuli nato ang kanang mga gamit no kanang once we are done nga using sa mga gamit. So, na kuan ra akong pa-explain. But basically, this is about working ha, when we are working. So, when we are working, kung mo resign na ta or exit na ta sa kanang kuan company, so atong iuli ang ato ang mga kamtangan nga igamit within the company, then ato na siyang i-surrender. So, a hotel terminated a banquet staff for just a cause. After returning company equipment, she received her final pay in 25 days. For the summary of tables, we have it here. Dolly has a jurisdiction with the over labor disputes with employment type, regular if 6 plus months in core job. So pay rules, OT 125%, holidays 200%. Termination must follow due process, final pay must be released within 30 days. Now for lesson 12, topics about the rights of employees and union matters. The right to organize and collective bargaining. The legal basis according to the Article 8, Section 13 of the 1987 Constitution. Article 13. Nawa na ko. Adara. So, nawa sa screen. So, that is Article 13. That is 10 plus 3, that is 13. Kay ang kuan plus ang 5 is V man. So, X is 10. So, Article 13, Section 3 of the 1987 Constitution, Labor Code of the Philippines, Book 5, Title 1. What is the right to organize? So, employees have the right to form or join labor unions to protect their interest. So they can collectively demand better wages, benefits, and working conditions. Like for example, if they have groups, like grupo ng mga magsasaka, grupo ng mga hotel employees, so they can demand, but tanawan po na nato, no? According to the law, it will be checked if that is kanang reasonable basad siya. Now, what is collective bargaining? It is a negotiation process between the employer and the union. Results in a collective bargaining agreement, CBA. So, employers cannot prevent employees from forming a union or a grupo, fire employees for joining a union, illegal dismissal na siya kanang apil og mga grupo ang kuan ang mga employees. So, i-dismiss siya kay kung ni-appeal man kaana, so di na siya pwede. So, example, hotel housekeeping staff form a union to demand better safety gear. The hotel must respect their rights to negotiate. Okay, handling grievances and complaints. So, what is grievances? So, what is grievances? A formal complaints by an employee about salary disputes, workloads, supervisor misconduct, unsafe conditions. Now, grievance handling steps. Submit written complaints to HR or supervisor, meeting between employees and HR for discussion. If unresolved, mediation or union representation is needed. Example, the front desk clerk feels unfairly treated in shift assignments, which he submits a grievance and HR must investigate about what is happening. Kaya dapat puli-puli man siyang shifting. For example, 1 month kang graveyard, sunod na pod is, di na po ka graveyard, lahi na po ang imuha nga duty. So, aron dili po kaayo, luoy kayo nga, sige na po graveyard. Next, health and safety standards in hotels. So, legal basis. Occupational safety and health standards, OSH law, okay, that is Occupational Safety Health Law, or RA 11058. Employer responsibilities. Provide PPE, personal protective equipment, to the employee. Then conduct safety orientations, how to handle, okay, how to use that things. Then ensure fire exit, sanitation, and ventilation. So penalties. Hotel with unsafe kitchen or poorly maintained elevators can be fined by DOLE. Example, kitchen staff in a resort get burned due to lack of training. DOLE inspects and fine violation of OSH standards. OSH means Occupational Safety and Health Standards. Now, Anti-Sexual Harassment Law, or RA 7877, Republic Act 7877, Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995. Sexual harassment defined: unwanted sexual advances, request for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature. So it applies to boss to subordinate, co-workers to co-worker, even customer to employee, with company actions expected. So employer duties: create committee on decorum and investigate CODI or CODI. Then have a clear policy and reporting mechanism. So, like for example, a guest makes repeated inappropriate comments to a hotel spa attendant. Hotel must protect the employee and respond promptly. So, basically, most commonly yun ang maigog na harassment is mostly mga babae yun. No? So, mostly kaning yun, ang girls yun, maigo sa harassment mo nang kuan yun, aware yun mo na sa inyong rights. Now, case example, employee dismissed without due process. The due process in termination: first, notice to explain; second, employee's written explanation; third, administrative hearing; fourth, notice of termination if proven guilty. Violation of due process: employees is dismissed without being heard. Hotel may be liable for illegal dismissal. Realistic example: a banquet server was terminated after a guest accused him of rudeness. The hotel did not conduct an investigation or ask for the server's side. So Dole ruled illegal dismissal, and the hotel was ordered to reinstate the employee, pay back wages. Now, for the summary of tables, we have it here. Right to union: employees can form unions or groups and negotiate. Grievances must be handled fairly by the HR. Safety: hotels must ensure safe working environment. Then sexual harassment must prevent and act on cases. Due process required all for all the dismissals. So we will continue the week 7.